Welcome in, everybody. Today's deep dive is going to be pretty fascinating. I think we're looking at blueberry hydroponics in India.
Yeah, it's funny. Blueberries in India, you don't really think of those two together.
Not really, right?
Yeah.
Like, you think more of your, like, mangoes and spices and things.
Exactly. Yeah. So we've got some guides here, a couple market analyses too.
Okay, yeah, great.
We're going to try to figure out how these blueberries are doing in India
Yeah, how are they making it work?
and why.
Yeah, because it seems like a pretty bold move. Like,
It
our
is.
sources are pointing to, like, this rising demand
Right.
for blueberries in India, but their climate isn't exactly
Oh,
blueberry friendly.
not really. You wouldn't think of India for blueberry growing, would you?
Not at all. No.
And that's where the hydroponics comes in.
Okay, so hydroponics is kind of like the secret weapon here.
It is. It really is. It's a way to kind of overcome some of those climate challenges.
Okay, so let's take a step back for a second, because I know we've talked about hydroponics on the show before.
Yeah.
But for anyone who's new to this, what is hydroponics?
So basically, it's growing plants without soil.
Yeah.
You're using this nutrient-rich water solution instead.
So the roots are just kind of hanging out in this nutrient bath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about control and precision. You can adjust the temperature,
Wow.
the humidity, the nutrient mix, everything.
So it's kind of like creating the perfect little environment for these plants.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Takes out the guesswork.
So fascinating. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about blueberries in India, and they're using hydroponics.
Right.
But it's not just any blueberry, right?
No.
Our sources are saying the rabbit eye variety is kind of
It is. The rabbit
thing.
eye is interesting because it needs this like chill period to do its thing.
Chill period. What does that even mean for a plant?
Basically, it needs a certain amount of cold weather to flower and produce fruit.
Oh.
So how do you get those chill hours in India?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It doesn't exactly get freezing there.
Right. But that's the beauty of these controlled environments. Okay. You can like manipulate the greenhouse temperature
Oh, wow.
to trick the plant into thinking it's gone through winter.
So you're basically faking out Mother Nature.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
And it works.
That's so cool. Okay, so let's say someone's listening to this and they're like, all right, I'm sold. I want to start my own blueberry hydroponics farm in India.
Yeah.
Where do they even begin? Like, I'm looking at this guide we have,
Uh-huh.
and it's like step-by-step instructions. It's amazing.
That's a good one.
It is. So first things first, the guide says you got to source these certified blueberry plants,
Right.
and it specifically mentions U.S. nurseries.
Yeah, for a reason.
Why is that?
You want to make sure you're getting disease-free plants.
Oh, okay.
Plants that are true to their variety,
So it's like starting with the best possible foundation.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to cut corners on that.
And the U.S. is known for having, like, really high standards for this kind of
We
thing.
do,
Yeah.
yeah. It's all about traceability and quality assurance.
Gotcha. Okay, so you got your plants. What's next? What kind of hydroponic system are we talking about?
So the guide highlights two main ones, the Dutch bucket system,
Okay.
which is great for larger operations.
Mhm.
You got these individual buckets filled with a growing medium like cocoa core or something.
Oh, okay, so each plant gets its own little apartment,
Pretty much. It's
Yeah.
all about good root aeration and drainage.
which is important for blueberries specifically.
Yeah, they need that.
Okay.
The other system they talk about is the NFT system.
NFT.
Yeah, nutrient film technique.
Okay, I've heard of that.
It's more compact, good for smaller spaces. You got these trays with a thin film of nutrient solution constantly flowing over the roots.
Oh, that sounds pretty high tech.
It is.
So in both of these systems, you're constantly monitoring the nutrient solution, right?
Absolutely. The guide talks a lot about EC and pH.
EC and pH. Can you break those down for us?
Yeah, so EC, that's electrical conductivity.
Okay.
It's basically measuring how much nutrients are in the water.
So you need to make sure it's in the right range for the blueberries.
Exactly. Too low and they're starving too high, and you can get nutrient toxicity.
Oh, wow. So it's a delicate balance.
It is. And
Yeah.
then there's pH, which measures the acidity or alkalinity.
Yeah.
Blueberries like things on the acidic side.
So you got to keep an eye on that too.
You do. Even small changes in pH can mess with nutrient absorption.
Wow. So it's not just about setting up the system and letting it run.
No, you got to be on top of it.
It's like constantly checking in on your little blueberry babies.
Pretty much. You're like their personal caretaker.
I'm sensing a theme here. Precision and constant monitoring.
Yeah, that's hydroponics for you.
Ugh.
But luckily, technology can make it a lot easier.
Okay, good. Because I was going to say, this all sounds a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, there are all these sensors and automated systems now.
Oh, wow.
They can monitor the pH and EC automatically and adjust the nutrient solution as needed.
No way.
Yeah, and they can control the temperature, the humidity, the irrigation.
So it's like having a little robot farmer taking care of everything.
Kind of, yeah. It takes a lot of the guesswork and manual labor out of it.
That's amazing. So it's like tradition meets technology.
Exactly. It's pretty cool, right?
Super cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is a good place to take a little break.
Sounds good.
We've covered the basics of blueberry hydroponics in India, why it's happening, how it works.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll dive into the challenges and the solutions and really get into like the nitty-gritty of how to make this whole thing a success.
Can't wait.
Me neither. Okay, so we've talked about the how of blueberry hydroponics in India, but let's get real for a second. Like, what are the challenges here?
Well, you hit the nail on the head earlier, the cost.
Yeah, the money.
The upfront investment for all this, it can be a lot.
It's not just the system itself, right?
No, it's the greenhouse, the equipment, those high-quality plants from the U.S.
Yeah, so does that mean this is only for like big companies with deep pockets?
Not necessarily. Our sources talk about some government programs in India
Okay.
to help with the costs, especially for smaller growers.
So they're trying to make it more accessible?
Yeah, there are subsidies and financial assistance available.
That's good to hear. So it's not just about the money though, right?
No, India's climate can be a challenge, even in a controlled environment.
Yeah, I can imagine those hot summers and the monsoons.
Exactly. You got to be on your toes, keeping those temperatures and humidity levels stable.
So it's a constant battle.
Pretty much. It can be a lot of work.
And a lot of stress, I bet.
Definitely. But that's where technology comes in again.
Okay, tell me more.
There are these automated climate control systems now.
Oh, wow.
They use sensors to monitor everything in real time.
So they can adjust the ventilation, the cooling fans, all that.
Exactly. They keep the greenhouse environment stable no matter what's happening outside.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So it's like a safety net for your blueberries.
You could say that.
Yeah.
So we've talked about climate. What about pests and diseases?
Yeah, that was my next question. You'd think in a hydroponic system they wouldn't be an issue.
You'd hope so, right? But they can still sneak in. Yeah, one source talked about the importance of those certified plants from the U.S.
Okay.
It's not just about the quality, but also about preventing foreign pests or diseases from coming in.
So it's like a biosecurity thing.
Exactly. You're minimizing the risk from the start.
But what if something does happen, like an outbreak?
Well, the good news is that in hydroponics, you can usually contain things faster.
Okay.
There's no soil, so it's harder for diseases to spread.
And you can adjust the nutrient solution and the environment to help the plants fight back.
Right. It's a more controlled approach.
So you got more tools in your arsenal.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked about the challenges.
Yeah.
Now let's talk solutions. Like, what are the growers who are really killing it doing differently?
Yeah, what are the secrets?
One big thing is data.
Data.
Yeah, they're tracking everything.
Like what kind of data?
Nutrient levels, water usage, plant growth, yield patterns, everything.
Wow, so it's all about the numbers.
It is. It's about using data to make smart decisions.
So you're constantly analyzing and optimizing.
Exactly. And with all the sensors and software available now, it's easier than ever.
So you can fine-tune everything based on real-time information.
Pretty much. It's a game changer.
Okay, so data is key. What else?
Marketing.
You mean like getting your blueberries out there?
More than that.
Yeah.
It's about telling a story.
A story about blueberries.
Yeah, people want to know where their food comes from, how it's grown.
So it's about transparency and connecting with the consumer.
Exactly. Hydroponics has a great story to tell. It's innovative, it's sustainable.
I can see it now, like pictures of these beautiful blueberries growing in a high-tech greenhouse.
Yeah, and the story of the farmer who's behind it all.
It's like farm to table 2.0.
Exactly. You got to appeal to people's values.
Okay, so data and marketing. Anything else?
This might sound simple, but never stop learning.
Oh yeah, that's good advice in any field.
Especially hydroponics. Things are changing so fast. New technologies, new techniques.
So you got to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. Go to workshops, read research experiment.
Be a lifelong learner.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked about making hydroponics work in India.
Right.
But what about the bigger picture?
What do you mean?
Export.
Oh yeah, we've mentioned that a few times.
Indian blueberries going global.
That's a big deal.
It is, but it's not easy.
What are the challenges?
Logistics regulations, quality control.
Yeah, those are all big hurdles.
You got to meet international standards, maintain the cold chain, make sure those blueberries arrive fresh.
It's a whole other level of complexity.
It is, but if they can pull it off, the potential is huge.
So what makes Indian blueberries competitive on the world market?
Well, they can grow year-round thanks to the climate.
That's a big advantage.
And there's a growing demand for organic produce.
Right.
India has a strong tradition of organic farming.
So they're well positioned to tap into that market.
Exactly. It's about finding your niche and showcasing what makes you unique.
So it's not just about growing blueberries, it's about growing the right blueberries in the right way.
Exactly. And telling the right story.
Okay, so we've talked about the challenges, the solutions,
Yeah,
the export market. It's a lot.
it is.
But it really makes you think, right? Like if they can grow blueberries in India hydroponically, what else is possible?
Exactly. That's the question, isn't it?
Like, could this be a model for growing other non-native crops?
I think so. I mean, hydroponics is all about controlling the environment.
Right.
So theoretically, you could grow almost anything anywhere.
Wow, that's pretty mind-blowing.
Imagine India producing all sorts of fruits and vegetables that you wouldn't normally find there.
That would be incredible. But wouldn't that be disruptive to like traditional farmers?
It's a valid concern for sure. We
Hmm.
don't want to replace traditional farming.
Right.
It's more about finding ways for hydroponics to complement it.
So like maybe hydroponics could provide extra income for farmers during the off-season.
Exactly. Or it could create opportunities for people who don't have a lot of land or water.
So it's about finding that balance between innovation and tradition.
Exactly.
Wow.
One of the sources we looked at talked about the need for training programs to help traditional farmers learn about these new technologies.
So it's about giving them the tools to adapt.
Exactly, empowering them to make informed choices.
So we've talked a lot about the grower side of things, but what about the consumer?
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other piece of the puzzle.
Like if hydroponics becomes more common, how will that change the way we shop for food?
Well, imagine going to the grocery store and seeing labels that tell you exactly how the produce was grown,
Oh, that'd be interesting.
like hydroponically grown or traditionally grown.
So you could make more informed choices.
Exactly. You could choose based on your values, whether it's sustainability, nutrition, or something else.
So it's about transparency and empowering the consumer.
Exactly. And hydroponics often has a lot of benefits like higher nutritional value, longer shelf life, reduced environmental impact.
Wow. So it's really about thinking beyond just the price and appearance of the food
It is. It's about understanding the whole story behind it.
and realizing that our choices as consumers have a ripple effect.
Exactly. We're all connected in this food system.
Well said. I think we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from the technical stuff to the bigger picture implications.
It's amazing how much there is to unpack just from the question of, can you grow blueberries in India?
Right. It all started with that simple question.
And we've learned so much about innovation and sustainability and the future of agriculture.
It's inspiring to see how people are pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It is. And it makes
Yeah.
you wonder what other exciting developments are just around the corner.
Exactly. So to everyone listening, I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity.
I hope so.
Keep asking questions, keep learning, and maybe one day you'll be enjoying some delicious hydroponic blueberries from India.
I'll definitely be looking for them.
Me too. All right, that's a wrap for this episode of The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.